Thank you for listening. A list of content warnings can be found in the episode description. Take care. Enjoy the show. Planescape Torment, the Unofficial audio series. A narrative let's play adapted and produced by RevocerGM. Combining in-game audio with additional voice acting through dialogue and descriptions to improve your listening experience. Rediscover the amazing story of the 1999 cult classic isometric video game, Planescape Torment, like you've never heard before. Amongst all the stacks of tattered parchment, bursting notebooks, and mouldering teacups that litter the place, there is one space within Finam the linguist's office that holds a little more ceremony. Atop a small cabinet, flanked by an offering of dried flowers, sits the bronze urn that holds the ashes of Finam's father. Etched into its base are the words Finandly, beloved husband, father, and scholar of 100 languages. Finam himself had put the idea into your mind that perhaps speaking with the deceased scholar would help in learning the lost language of the dodecahedron. And, as he has gone rummaging through his library in search of his father's notes, you open the lid to the urn and see a mass of grey ashes and a few splinters of charred bone. The ashes seem to stir faintly, as if moved by your breath. And as you begin to reach beyond the boundary, a memory bubbles to the surface of your mind. You are sat before a man of middling years, dressed in a neat woolen suit. You recall this to be the scholar Finn Andley himself. You remember his gentle voice, his kind manner, his schooling you in the ancient language of the Uo. You also remember his eyes, bloodshot and pleading. Your scarred and gnarled hand as it wrapped around his frail throat, crushing his larynx and thus ensuring that the contents of your journal, hidden and thrice trapped in a dodecahedral puzzle box and penned in the most obscure language within the known multiverse, would now be forever safe from prying eyes.
Here you are then. My father's notes. I knew I'd kept them somewhere, regrettably wedged beneath an old bookshelf to keep it from rocking. About as much good as it could be these days. No one apart from you has found any reason to learn the damned tongue of the Uo. Shame.
Right. Well, if I find anything of interest, I'll be sure to let you know.
Yes. Square then, are we? Good. I've to look over my notes now, so if you'll just excuse me.
Thanks, Finam. Farewell. After you had retrieved Finam's notebook from the brothel, you and your companions sought out Montague and Merriman, the men connected to both Juliet and Delora's respective personal dilemmas. Montague, a charming but rather feckless young man, responded to Juliet's ruse of an affair with about as much passion as a dustman at a dinner party, only roused to fight for their relationship following your quite uncertain encouragement. Merriman, however, had plenty of passion, in the form of spite. A cruel, cantankerous old man who turned out to hold the actual keys to Delora's heart, revealing that she is in fact a construct of his own design that he appears to have gotten weary of. His own malicious heart, seeing something to be gained from the situation, has tasked you with finding a solution to the build-up of his own accumulated memories, hoping to experience with newly freshened and unhardened eyes the wonders found within the Civic Festhall sensory stones. You have agreed, though not through any desire to help the man himself, but to relieve Delora of any ties to him. And after all of that, you left your companions in the suite within the Sensate dormitories, and having now acquired Finam's father's notes, head to one of the Clerk's Ward bars and await the arrival of the Lady Fall from Grace. The early evening crowd is jubilant and lively, with the various clerks and well-to-dos chatting and sharing their gossip. And while waiting at the bar, you happen upon the gnomish researcher, Abel Ponderthought, who had offered to look into various records for you. His cheeks are a little rosy, and froth from the pint of deep brown frost ale you had bought him in thanks hangs off his mustache like snow upon the boughs of a pine tree. He certainly looks to be enjoying himself as he regales you on what information he had found on the night hag Ravel Puzzlewell.
Yes, apparently she disappeared from the Festhall one night and was believed to have been mazed, to many people's relief. Records indicate that something of hers was needed to open a portal to her maze, but none knew what this might be, nor wanted to find out. You might want to ask people within the Festhall of her.
Something of hers. Right. Thank you. And did you manage to find anything about anyone who looked like me?
Oh, why, yes, actually. Most curious. I found mention of 2 different men who matched your description. Both of the most despicable sort, I'm afraid. The first was an utter madman, a berserk, bloodthirsty mercenary and duelist who killed all those who crossed him.
Go on.
He was finally captured and subsequently drawn and quartered by 24 mercy killers after a murderous rampage in a lower ward pub. His remains were cast beyond the walls of Sigil. This was all some 3 centuries past.
And the other man?
Little is known of him. My research showed that he was a sensate who, shortly before his death, destroyed all the dozens of sensory stones that he had recorded experiences into. It was noted as a great loss to the faction, for the man, though he had few friends lashing out at anyone who approached him too closely, was said to have collected a great many wondrous sensations.
How did he die? He shrugs.
I do not know. The records do not say.
You pass the next 30 or so minutes chatting with Abel Ponderthought, who is more than happy to have his mug topped up with ale as he shares an in-depth review of the Sigil Hall of Records filing system and his opinions on how to improve it. The 2 of you even get embroiled into the woes of another of the bar's patrons, a young mage's apprentice whose taste for booze has set him at odds with his sorceress master. You tell the young man of the mysterious sensate muse in the Civic Festhall named Unfulfilled Desire, who, with but a word, can banish any lingering want from one's soul. Immediately, emboldened by your compassion, the young mage then swears off all drink and sets out to find this mystic, leaving you his enchanted stein in thanks. It's a peculiar vessel and reasonably valuable. A bearded face and multiple runes have been carved into the pewter, and notably, a thin coat of ever-restoring frost forms just beneath the rim, seemingly allowing the mug to hold its contents at a perfectly chilled and even temperature. Eventually, though, as your new gnomish friend waxes his opinion on the misguided views of the Revolutionary League, you see a crown of golden hair and the tips of 2 folded wings rising above the crowd.
I wish that they would open their eyes to the truth. They do nothing but blind themselves and block everyone's access.
Grace! The mistress of the brothel turns, smiling as she sees you, and approaches. Abel Ponderthought is frozen, staring up at the lady, and for the first time since you'd met him, is speechless.
Master Abel Ponderthought. A pleasure to see you here. You've not visited the brothel in some time. I hope all's well.
His cheeks bloom into a rosy red.
The pleasure is all mine, my lady. Forgive me.
He then gives a sudden deep bow, sloshing a little of his pint upon the cobbles.
Do not take my recent absence from your establishment as review. I merely have not...
At ease, good sir. I'm sure that you've been kept far too busy with all your important duties within the city, and I'm certain that for them I should be grateful.
Yes. And I myself am certain I should be getting back to such duties. If you will excuse me, Lady Grace, sir?
With a nod, he smooths down his tunic, sets the remnants of his ale aside, then, looking a little bleary-eyed, chooses a direction and swiftly departs.
So this is your tactic? Ply the civilians of Sigil with drink and sap them of their hard-earned knowledge? Well, I must warn you, due to my nature, it would take far more than a frosty pint to wear down my guard.
Honestly, I don't think I could have stopped him if I tried. That man spills knowledge as much as he spills his ale.
Well, If Abel Ponder thought is a reflection of the company you keep, I have no doubt we will get along just fine, and this evening will prove to be quite pleasant.
Right.
Now, if you're ready.
She extends her arm, looping it through yours, and begins to lead you out of the plaza and down a wide street. Balconies of beautifully crafted wrought iron and twisted razorvine hang above the fronts of various bureaus and boutique offices. And along this particular street, small sections have been widened, creating little enclosures and seating areas surrounded by sweet-smelling shrubbery. In one, a wizened orator chants out what you think is the poetic verse of some exotic language, and in another, two mummers enact a short play to a small audience of Genasi children who are enamored by the players' masks and silly voices. Grace watches them silently as you pass, a solemn smile on her face. So, what is it exactly that you wanted to show me?
Do you not ever just stop in your travels and experience what is around you? Not everything must be some great quest. Sigil is not just a place from with which to launch adventure or uncover answers. It is the meeting of all known experience, mixing and intertwining with one another, creating something I find quite beautiful. It is a home I have grown very fond of. And if you are to ask me to leave it, you should first experience what it is I would be giving up.
How did you end up in Sigil?
That is a long tale, and not as interesting as some would make it out to be.
She sighs.
It is intertwined in other tales of war and slavery. It is not a pleasant tale.
I would still hear it. For if that's what you came from, it might help me understand a little of why you've chosen to be here.
Very well. I do not know if you are familiar with the Tanari as a whole, but we are a race of the Abyss. A staggered series of planes filled with chaos and evil hearts.
Go on.
I grew up upon the first plane of the Abyss. My mother was a succubus herself. As I'm sure you are aware, succubi tempt mortals, collecting their souls to be absorbed into the plane. My mother was amongst the finest, seducing countless mortals to their eternal damnation. She now dwells in the Abyss, selling her children into slavery.
Your mother sold you into slavery?
Yes, she sold me to the Baetsu, the blood enemies of the Tanari. I think she rather expected they would kill me. Despite her knowledge of other subjects, she knows little of their culture and the delight they take in tormenting others.
How did you escape?
The Baetsu are a proud species. The thought a Tanari could best them at anything was intolerable to them. So, I challenged one of them, one of the proudest, to a contest of improvisation, and my Tanari nature afforded me an advantage. You see, the Tanari are creatures of chaos, wild and unpredictable. The Baetsu are more cunning, with orderly hearts. They understand improvisation, but they're not its best practitioners. And thus, I won my freedom, and my path brought me to Sigil.
Improvisation?
Yes, have you tried it?
No.
A pity. It can be quite exhilarating. Of course, my whole tale is much longer than that, but if what you wanted was to know where I came from, then there it is. I set up the brothel, and for the most part, have been here ever since.
She suddenly stops, looking up at one of the buildings.
Here we are.
What is it?
What it is that I wanted to show you. The Art and Curio Galleria.
Polished stone steps rise to a strange entryway, sculpted in the fashion of a large keyhole set into the simple brick wall behind. The building itself doesn't seem particularly grand from the outside, but as you pass the midnight darkness of the threshold, the space seems to stretch and open out, and you find yourself stood in the foyer of a breathtaking hall. A colonnade of dark stone pillars runs down the center, with various display rooms set to each side. The stones forming the tiles and walls are an oddly opaline black that glints and seems to swirl. Such is the illusion that you could almost feel suspended in the firmament of the astral sea. As mesmerizing as the effect is, your attention is drawn away from the darkness and towards the spheres of light that pool around the exhibitions, sculptures, paintings, murals, and other things that you could not find a word for if you tried, each are illuminated by a gentle halo. Wow.
You like it? Hearts and minds from across the entire multiverse are expressed within this place, free for all to see. Quite a rare thing, I think.
Grace gestures for you to lead the way, following behind as you explore the wondrous artworks. One of the first you see is a set of 4 paintings which portray an empty beach in the dead of night. There is something thrilling about it, as the painted sea seems to ebb and flow across the darkened shore. A placard below reads, Karasuthran Shoreline.
Karasuthra is a lay of the Beastlands, which is perpetually shrouded in night, filled with all manner of animals that stalk their prey in the darkness. The painter had fallen in love with a cat lord and donated this piece before following her to her homeland, never to be seen again. No one is quite sure how the effect has been achieved. It is more than mere illusion. Go ahead, lean in close. Touch it.
You lean in, and the air around the painting smells faintly of brine. Gently, you press your ear to the surface, expecting to feel the motion of the dark water on your face, but it is simply dried paint upon canvas, masterfully worked to give the impression of movement. Although, listening carefully, you can just hear the rumble of waves crashing upon the sand. Off in one of the side rooms, you see a single sculpture. You step inside, and the temperature immediately drops, as shards of black crystal or ice swirl within the freezing wind that the ornate pedestal in the center gives forth. As you reach out to touch one of the whirling shards, a coat of numbing frost instantly forms around your finger, causing you to momentarily draw back.
These are the dark birds of Acanthus, each chipped from the great sheet of infinite ice that rests in the black belly of that layer of Acheron. It is said that the frozen lake of Acanthus is the final destination of the river Styx, and that the recollections of all that have been plunged into its memory-destroying waters still lie held beneath this ice.
If the waters of the Styx destroy one's memories, would this ice from Acanthus do the same?
I could only assume so, yes.
Grace watches, bemused, as you place your finger back into the frigid wind, this time freezing it solid. One of the black shards spins into it, cracking the tip of your finger off, sending it skittering across the Galleria floor. The icy dark birds remain in their whirling orbit as you wait for your fingertip to grow back.
That is one way to experience it, I suppose.
Just a moment. You take the enchanted stein you had just been gifted from the drunken mage and dip the mug into the icy wind, catching a small shard with a slight clang. Peering into the mug, you can see a tiny, razor-sharp sliver of black ice shaped into a crystalline bird. Only the mug's magical properties prevent the shard from melting away to nothing.
I cannot fault your curiosity, I will say that.
You continue to explore the gallery, finding paintings and sculptures that both dazzle and disturb. Fall from Grace, where possible, tells you the stories of each one. A vast, stained glass window suspended in the air, believed to depict the fading image of some event that has not yet occurred. A painting named The Folly of Udo, showing this ill-famed wizard's final moments as he wrought doom upon his world within the prime material plane. And an horrifically lifelike statue, which is apparently the petrified remains of the Ethicarian sorcerer Gangroi Gaiden, held just as she was uttering the verbal components to an awful curse. There is one particularly disturbing painting that has been carefully transferred from the walls of one of the gatehouse's cells, Sigil's largest asylum. All the occupant of this cell could speak before he finally expired was, "Hazazoth has consumed Nagar. Hazazoth has consumed Nagar." A frightening image that makes the pit of your stomach feel hollow and cold. Eventually, you come to a painting that feels very familiar. It is a portrait of a grotesque, hook-nosed old crone. The hag's flesh is a sickly blue-grey color. Her eyes glow red like the embers of a dying fire. Her chin, long and sharp, juts forward in an extreme underbite, and 2 yellowed canines protrude upwards from her lower jaw like small tusks. The smile upon her withered purplish lips speaks of a horrible secret. You are drawn into this painting, and once again, the strange prickling sensation you have become accustomed to arises in the back of your skull, a memory beginning to surface. You recall standing, confused in a maze of briars. The hideous crone from the painting is before you, cackling wildly. You grit your teeth in frustration, wondering why she's laughing at you.
My poor, dear, lovely man-thing.
She croons.
Why, that was your first wish.
She points a single, bony, clawed finger at your forehead. Your temples begin to throb painfully, and you can remember nothing more. Yeah.
You're right. Here, take a seat.
Grace guides you to a bench in the center of the room and touches her palm to your forehead. There is a slight tingling upon your skin, but immediately you feel better, refreshed.
Mistress Grace, is that you?
Lady Ivana! Yes, we're just here.
She helps you to your feet again and introduces you to a well-dressed, elderly woman in a gown of peach silk and golden thread. The lady gives a small nod, and you notice her eyes are entirely clouded with a milky white.
Greetings, sir. I am Ivana. You are welcome to my Galleria. I would offer to show you around, but there are a few guides more accomplished than your companion here.
Thank you. It is an incredible place. I was just taken aback by one of the pieces.
One moment, sir. Your voice, it is heavy with age and wounds. Would you be so kind as to permit me to touch your face?
Sure. Go ahead. Ivana smiles, gently running her old hands over your cheeks, brow, and jaw. Then she frowns, looking slightly puzzled.
So many scars, both old and new. They seem to...
She touches the side of your throat, flushes, then pulls away.
Pardon me, sir. I was curious to see how far they went.
It's fine. And they're everywhere. My whole body is scarred. Ivana nods.
You have found yourself before the Grey Lady.
Excuse me?
This painting, the Grey Hag of Oinos.
Right. Yes, of course. Ravel Puzzlewell, is she not? Both Ivana and Grace look a little surprised.
Yes, exactly. Very likely the evilest hag ever to have terrorized the Grey Waste and beyond.
Tell me about the painting. What do you know of her?
Well, not much, and few do. It is said she came to Sigil many centuries ago to pursue arcane experiments. It was believed that these experiments were against the lady's will, and that Ravel was thus banished from Sigil, imprisoned with one of the lady's mazes on the ethereal, where her body rests to this very day.
Go on.
Ravel was believed to have been a master of riddles and puzzles. But there was one riddle, one question in particular, that was said to have plagued the ancient night hag.
Go on.
What can change the nature of a man? She issued a challenge to any who were interested. She promised to instruct any who came to her in her craft, if they could only answer that question to her satisfaction. If they could not, they must consent to be her next meal. Many died coveting Ravel's teachings, and it is believed that until her final hours in Sigil, Ravel never discovered the answer. Of course, some believe this all to be myth and legend, but it is a good story, and I quite like thinking it true.
I have a question. Not about one of the pieces.
Of course. Please, ask.
Can you not see, Ivana? She quietly purses her lips and smiles.
Lady Ivana is blind by choice and not by circumstance. Is that not true?
Ivana nods.
You are quite correct, Mistress Grace. I cannot see, but only because I do not wish to. In time, I will allow my vision to return so that I can re-experience the contents of my Galleria with the benefit of new, fresh eyes.
Though it must be said, in no way does it hamper your command of this space. It is a pleasure to be back here, truly.
The pleasure is all mine. Now, if you will excuse me, sir, I must see to the other guests. I leave you in very capable hands. Mistress Grace?
She bows and leaves you before the painting.
I'm starting to see how you may have acquired so many of those scars. Do you ever choose to not ask a question that falls into your mind?
Yeah. Tact is not a strong suit of mine.
That's okay. Your inquisitiveness carries a certain charm. And Ivana certainly would not be bothered by such a thing. I think to the contrary. She enjoys the air of mystique.
She looks familiar to me.
Oh?
One of your students, in fact, Yves.
She is her mother. They no longer speak to one another.
Why is that?
That is a question for the both of them, and one I might consider holding back on.
The two of you approach a few more of the exhibits. A beautiful gem structure, fashioned such that you cannot tell if it depicts either some fiend or, contrastingly, a deva. You also find a bloody chain that coils and hisses, bound upon its housing, yet still seething with malicious intent. You recognize it to be the animated appendage of a chiton, one of the cruel denizens of jangling Hyta, the city suspended above the third layer of Beator, Mineros. None, though, despite their wonder, can move the image of that hag from your mind. Seemingly sensing this in your manner, Grace stops and stares into your eyes.
Are you all right? You seem distracted.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I don't believe you. And if I might pry with one of my own questions, I think it has something to do with that painting. The Grey Hag of Oinos. Am I correct?
Yes. Seeing it brought back a memory.
That is good, is it not?
Not a pleasant one.
I see.
She holds your gaze.
Who is this Ravel Puzzlewell to you?
Well, that is what I am doing here. I intend to seek her out. Grace raises an eyebrow.
Truly? I found myself compelled to ask why.
I need information that she has.
Is this information available from no one else?
I suspect that only Ravel possesses the knowledge I need. Do you know much about her?
I am familiar with the name, but know no more than what Ivana has already said.
Fall from Grace pauses and thinks for a moment.
Rumors cluster thickly about that name.
She then rests her hand lightly on your arm.
Consider this. If Ravel does indeed exist, then she's extremely powerful and cunning. If a fraction of the stories of her activities are true, then she is a creature that has discovered new meanings of evil. The search for her is not a quest to be undertaken lightly.
I realize that.
Don't you ever try doing anything boring?
I try not to.
Well, I've never met a myth. This should be quite the outing.
She smiles. Does this mean you intend to join me?
Undecided. We shall see. There is still more of this evening ahead, and I still have many more questions.
After leaving the Galleria, Fultham Grace guides you around the clerk's ward, pointing out buildings of note and various attractions. including the palatially large campus that is the Hall of Records and its structures. You were even treated to a ride on one of the T Street Transit shuttle cabs, a means of navigating the Sigil streets that might have been useful to know about sooner, had you had the coin to utilize it at least. Throughout this time, you share with her what you can of your story, including everything about Farad, the buried village and the catacombs of Undersigil, your recovered journals and the remnants of past incarnations that you have found scattered throughout the Hive and Lower Ward, your body being recovered from the Alley of Lingering Sighs, and your escape from the mortuary when you first woke up. You can see, as you unfold more and more details of your brief but varied life, Grace's eyes fix upon you with a look that is hard to read. But you become aware of how unsettling it might be, unveiling so much that has happened in what amounts to little more than a 10-day of any normal experience, to someone who has not themselves led a life beyond imaginable. But Grace remains steady and listens to your story, urging you onward with her queries. As you come to talk about your more recent experiences, you are reminded of why you had traveled to the Clerk's Ward in the first place, to find an alchemist capable of collecting a vial of your skin and blood for the psycho-engineer godsman Niall Xander in order to complete the dream builder that was commissioned. Another lead of a past life that had almost slipped away amongst all that has transpired in the last few days. And so, she takes you to an apothecary, a small building set mostly beneath street level, with just a few panels of thick green glass that let in the murky light. The place smells of scorched hair and rubbing alcohol, and its proprietor shuffles out from behind a large desk covered in bottles and powders, seemingly in the middle of some private experiment. He is a wall-eyed fellow whose skin strangely writhes and ripples across his entire body. His blotched tongue smacks at chapped lips, and as you watch, his right eye moves independently of the left, focusing on you for a moment. Then, a second later, the left one flicks to look your way as the right eye blinks.
Greetings.
The man gives a lopsided grin and points at himself with his right thumb.
Festhall, I'm called. The alchemist.
He points at himself again, this time with his left index finger.
The name's Kiln. Need you something?
Are you all right?
Aye, I am.
His throat convulses for a moment, then relaxes. A large, green-glowing pustule suddenly bursts from the side of his neck.
Something you needed then, sir?
His throat clenches again, and a wave of quivering flesh swallows the blistering green pustule back beneath the skin of his throat. He coughs violently for a moment, then seems to relax.
An engineer in the Great Foundry tells me I need to get a sample of my blood and skin for his machine to work. Can you do that for me?
A scraping?
Very well.
It needs to be in a blue-green bottle.
He nods, and without further questioning, his right hand takes up a scalpel from his desk, his left a wide-mouthed blue-green bottle. He dips the scalpel in some clear fluid and proceeds to deftly remove a small section of skin from your forearm, placing it into the bottle along with a small quantity of your blood. He then places some gauze over your wound and hands you the bottle.
Need you anything?
More, sir.
Yeah. May I ask what happened to you?
The left eye rolls upward in exasperation. The right eye looks askance.
Too much to drink.
Too much of what, though?
Potions I drank. Too many potions.
His mouth slides down beneath his chin. His left nostril forms another one.
The most I ever drank, that's for certain. Of polymorphine they were, and brewed.
In limbo.
Anything I could do to help?
The man's eyes turn inwards to look at each other, then back to you.
Dunno.
He shudders. The mouth below his chin moves up to envelop the one his nostril had formed.
This sort of thing happens quite often. We can't seem to...
Help, but sample the stock.
Half of his mouth curls downward into a frown. He shakes his head.
If you find a way to help, the two of us would be great.
Be grateful, sir.
He shudders violently, and suddenly a third eye pops open over the bridge of his nose. The left one shifts sideways as the new eye takes its place.
You need anything?
More, sir.
That said, the skin of his face seems to eat the new eye, and the left one returns to its old location.
No, that's all. Thanks, and farewell.
Back outside, having acquired what you needed, Grace pauses, staring into the ring of the city. The last remnants of daylight are fading into the bruised purple of the Sigil night sky, and her eyes glint a little as the lanterns begin to flicker in the streets beyond. How did you come by the name Fall from Grace?
The meaning of names is a complicated subject. There is much to be said, and a great deal that is better left unsaid.
Is Fall from Grace your real name?
Perhaps,
She smiles slightly.
perhaps not. There are names which are given, and names which are earned. Who is to say which is the real one?
I think the name which is given carries the greater weight,
That may be so. Why do you think that?
because it is how people perceive you, and their perceptions may outweigh your understanding of yourself. Grace nods.
Your point is well taken.
So, why are you called Fall from Grace?
Would it matter?
She smiles.
It is a given name. I have fallen from my people. Some would say risen from my people, perhaps, but fall feels more right to me.
She looks at you questioningly.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. After all, fall carries with it an underlying sense of loss. Fall from Grace is silent for a moment, then nods thoughtfully.
Yes. Perhaps that is why it felt as it did. I came to terms with the loss long ago, but the name has remained.
She meets your gaze, and you are once again struck by the brilliant shade of blue of her eyes. It is turbulent, like the ocean before a storm.
Or at least, I had thought I had. Perhaps not entirely.
A slight, mischievous look comes across her face.
If I were to join you on this search for Ravel, what is your plan? What are your next steps? How do you hope to achieve what so many would say is impossible?
Right. Fair enough. Well, assuming it's all true, we know that Ravel is imprisoned in one of the ladies' mazes. If what I understand is correct, then there must be a portal to that maze. And to open that, I would need something. Something of Ravel's. Do you know anything about these mazes? Grace places her hands together, thumbs and fingers touching, forming a rough circle.
The lady is said to have the power to take pieces of Sigil.
You watch as a ghostly image of Grace's little finger pulls itself from the hand and floats into the air, curling into a small circle.
And she uses these to make a maze.
Go on. The small circle floats in the air, then begins rotating, slowly.
The piece of Sigil she takes holds the prisoner. There is no escaping it, and it can happen at any time. While walking down the street, through a door, you may not even know right away that it has happened.
Inside the ghostly circle, you can suddenly see a flicker of movement, like someone walking inside.
It is said there is a portal that leads out of each maze, but they are difficult to find. Perhaps they are left in to give the prisoner hope. Perhaps they are left in to torture the prisoner.
The ghostly maze dissolves.
There are experts in mazes within Sigil, but as to Ravel's in particular, there is someone in the Festhall that may know more of her.
Yes, I've heard. I tried to speak with a wizard. Quell, I think his name was.
Quell, yes, I have heard of him.
Well, apparently I've angered him, and he won't speak with me until I bring him a gift. Some kind of candy, I think.
I see.
Grace looks a little daunted for a moment.
Well, it may be that I can help. Come on, follow me.
You are led to somewhere that you are surprised to find is quite familiar. Vrashika's Emporium of Curiosities. You notice that before entering, Fall from Grace takes a breath and almost seems to brace herself, as if preparing for some ordeal.
Standish! Tidy that up before someone sees!
Yes, Mistress Vrashika.
The musty floral smell hits you immediately as you enter, followed by the lingering metallic tang, and the half-demon proprietress quickly shuffles some papers into a drawer, neating up her desk before her eyes settle upon you, and then drift over to see your companion, Grace.
Well, well. Fall from grace. Or whatever it is you call yourself now. To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit? I thought that you rarely trafficked among our kind anymore.
She glances at you for a moment with the same faint sneer.
Or is your assignment here almost finished?
I do not know what assignment you are referring to, Vrashika, but last I had heard, you were a standard bearer for the Company of the Vulture. How did you come to Sigil?
By choice. I wonder where your orders will take you to next.
She suddenly turns to you.
You see, little man, the best temptress is one that can make you buy into the illusion of being both virtuous yet promiscuous at the same time. A prostitute priestess, as it were. Mistress Grace is among the finest, are you not? You would not think that 1,000 years of slavery had left their scars, no?
That is enough.
Very well. Though you are the ones who came into my emporium.
Vrashika looks to you.
And what of you? Are you here to buy something? Or just being let out on the leash of this Beitsu camp follower? Curious that she has made her home in Sigil, no? But then, what better place to train her agents than that little brothel of hers?
That is not the purpose of my establishment.
Oh, but of course not. Did I dare suggest such a thing?
Vrashika turns to you, eyes blazing.
Do not wonder, little man. Does this method of reason and curiosity ever enter your mind as to this matter? The arrangement at the brothel seems strange to you, does it not?
Vrashika goes on before you can answer.
And now here she is, with you. Most curious. Why would someone, a proprietress of such an establishment, leave it for any reason? And for a man she barely knows. Questions. The answers may be painful indeed.
All right, that's enough. Grace, if you want, we can leave.
No, it's okay. Vrashika's words hold no venom for me. He is well aware of why I accompany him, Vrashika, as he asked me to do so.
Vrashika sneers and looks away in disgust.
Oh, how sweet you two are together. You should know, though, Scarred One, ever since her mother sold her into slavery, she has been a plaything of the plains. She claims that she was able to free herself from her chains, but you may give that word as much credence as you would give the word of any other Tanari bitch.
She smiles slightly.
Myself excluded, of course.
It is simply the truth.
Truth? Truth? One does not win free of Beitsu contracts. You speak lies, and all the Tanari hordes know it. From the lowest legions to the other comfort-suckling succubi as they cavort across the plains. You are still a Beitsu toy, to be commanded as they see fit.
Vrashika sneers.
You even behave as they do.
One may win free of Beitsu contracts if one is wary of the wording, and if one realizes that the Beitsu are beholden to keep their own word. One must simply beware of any meanings that may be twisted to their ends. And I am well versed in language and its subtleties. Even so, it was not an easy matter.
Enough! I do not care to hear you speak your lies in my presence.
Fall from Grace maintains her composure and simply nods, though when you catch her eye, she gives you a slightly exasperated look, then smiles.
My companion came here to see your merchandise, Vrashika. I'd hate to deprive you of business. If my being here is too much of an obstacle for you, then perhaps you'd rather I wait outside.
By no means. I can handle my business just fine. What is it your companion would like to see?
Well then, let me explain.
After examining through Vrashika's items again, you find a number of things that interest you. A small glass phial, labeled as Davis Tears, collected from a captive celestial after a blood war skirmish over eons of imprisonment. A petrified heart from the hinterlands, the wastes beyond the outlands, said to summon a horde of nightmares upon the user's cry of revenge. And you were reminded of the elixir of horrific separation, the strange ointment, that may perhaps be of use in helping aid the alchemist's pestilent kiln. Notably, however, you find a beautifully crafted chocolate sculpture, a twisted, imp-like creature that apparently was once a quasit, a fiendish familiar, that has been polymorphed into chocolate by powerful sorcery. A perfect gift for a connoisseur of fine candies, you think. And then, back outside, you look to Grace, who, after releasing a barely perceptible tension in her shoulders, smiles at you warmly.
Rashika doesn't seem to care for you very much.
No, she does not. I do not blame her.
Why do you say that?
Rashika is a Tanari, as am I, but of a different sort, an Alu fiend. To understand Rashika, you must understand that Tanari culture is chaos, and chaos, by nature, cares nothing for fairness or justice. Alu fiends are viewed as being extraneous, without purpose. In many ways, it is worse than a death sentence. Besides, I'm not going to let her words tarnish what is an otherwise quite pleasant evening.
So you've had a good time. She nods.
But I still have my questions.
Go ahead.
I don't mind admitting that you are something of an enigma.
Huh. She smiles.
But I find such mysteries intriguing. Perhaps we could attempt to puzzle out your situation.
By all means. She squares up to you and scans her eyes across your scars and tattoos.
First, while it is possible that you are a tiefling or some unusual combination, my guess is that you are human, or were at one time.
All right.
Your appearance is approximately a male in his early 30s. The stitching and scar tissue make an exact determination difficult.
Tell me about it. Go on.
The key to your past is your memory. And it seems that certain locations, events, and people trigger seemingly forgotten memories. It would seem to be in your best interests to visit as many locations as possible and speak to as many others as possible. In short, experience as much as possible.
A sensate's advice, eh? Fall from Grace gives a bemused smile.
I would not advise it if I did not practice it, and if you did not already know it to be true.
There may be something else that would shed light on my situation.
Go on.
Well, I think there's someone out to kill me. So much so I built a trap, this tomb, to try and kill them. According to an inscription in the tomb, they've been coming after me for, well, as long as my incarnations can remember, it seems.
Then, whoever the killer is, they've lived a very long time to have pursued you so long.
She taps her chin for a moment.
Could the killer be immortal as well?
Perhaps.
So traveling with you would prove to be very dangerous indeed.
Oh, very.
And what of your existing companions? If I were to accept your request, I'd be traveling with them too, of course.
Mort, Dakon, and Anna. They have put themselves through more than I could ever ask. I trust them. They're friends.
Yes, from what you have said, there's no doubt they must care for you. But it is intriguing.
What do you mean?
Dakon, for instance. He's most uncommon for a Githzerai.
In what way?
Well, he obeys you. That alone would mark him as a pariah among his people. His entire race were once slaves, and even the reminder of servitude to them is distasteful.
Yes. He made a promise long ago to serve me until I died. It was after I saved his life, and he did not know that I was immortal.
Truly? As a Githzerai, he must be suffering indeed. How did you save his life?
After he fell from Shrak Lore, one of my previous incarnations came to him as he lay dying in limbo, and gave him this. You pull out the stone circle Dakon had entrusted you. It's called the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon, a religious text of the people.
Well, if he has given it back, then he must trust you dearly. He seems a most pious Githzerai and a steadfast ally.
He is.
Mort is most peculiar. I have seen a great deal in my life, but nothing quite like him. He behaves somewhat like a Mimir. Granted, there's no denying he's knowledgeable, but he has a certain Beatorian smell about him.
Beatorian smell?
Yes, but he's not a Beatsu, at least of any variety I've encountered. The smell alone, however, would make me treat the skull with caution.
What actually is a Mimir?
Mimirs are encyclopedias of knowledge. The owner may ask them questions, and if they possess the knowledge, they will inform the user of what it knows.
And Mort is a Mimir?
I don't believe so. Mort lacks the silvery metal that they would customarily have. And he seems to have an attitude of his own. Such qualities are not conventional. He may be one, but he's unlike any I've ever encountered.
Mort told me he is a Mimir.
Did he? Most curious. Very well, then.
But I don't think I believe him.
Perhaps there is some test to verify his authenticity, but I would not do one if you value him as a friend. If you do, then you must accept what he has told you.
And what do you think of Anna?
She seems strong and capable, and she is quite passionate. I almost wish I'd met her long ago and asked her to come to the brothel. Perhaps things might have been different.
Grace studies you for a moment.
What do you think of her?
I think she doesn't care for you very much.
I would agree, but I shall not let you dodge my question so easily. What do you think of her?
Well, I think I could fall in love with her.
You might wish to tell her so.
I don't know. I seem to leave this wreckage wherever I go. With Dianara especially, and the lives of others I've touched. It might be best to leave well enough alone.
Dianara was the apparition in the mortuary, was she not?
Yes, she was. I did something terrible to her, but I know not what.
To that I would say this. Love may move the planes themselves when it is strong and true. And there is nothing truer in all of my experiences than the truth about how one feels about another.
That may be. So, again, what is it that you feel about me and my request?
I feel that you need more information. Because currently we won't be traveling anywhere unless you figure out how to find this ravel. So come, let's see if we can solve that one together right now.
All right, let's go. You and Fultham Grace are back at the Civic Festhall. It is quite a different experience with the proprietress of the brothel by your side, as, while you were no way shunned before, the patrons and resident sensates greet your companion with courtesy and admiration, and you are somewhat lumped into this respect, it seems, by proximity. You are offered a myriad of invites to exhibitions and performances, all of which are politely declined by the Mistress Grace, who vows to keep you on track. Although, while you are here, you do find the old man Merriman and offer him a draught of this mug you had acquired that holds the memory-destroying ice of acanthus. He agrees to try it, But not before Grace suggests writing some instructions for the man, as, of course, his memory will surely be wiped of what he had promised to give you in return. You cut out a sheet from your journal, and he proceeds. After he takes a swig from the mug, a startled look falls upon his face, and he immediately inspects the paper that now reads, "Congratulations, Merriman, you've begun again. Thank the man in front of you and give him the key in your pocket. Speak to Splinter, the man at the door to this building, for more information." Happily, he obliges, handing you a large set of ornate brass keys, pats you on the back, then walks away to the entrance, laughing. Far cheerier than you'd seen him before, certainly. Then, as you are here to find the wizard Quell, you make your way to the private Sensorium. You can almost feel the delight radiating from your companion as you walk through the chambers of this place, and you wonder if any of the stones here contain experiences of her own. But, refraining from exploring the many chambers, you find the man that you are looking for sat on a bench, chewing on candies and perusing what you think might be a spellbook, chuckling to himself. The mage's expression curdles as he spies your approach.
Greetings.
Unbelievable. You've chosen to curse me with your detestable presence once more, you ill-conceived Ricky sod. I pray you've learned yourself some manners.
I've brought you some chocolate as a gift.
Oh?
His demeanor changes in an instant.
Oh, very, very kind of you. Very, very gentlemanly. May I see?
You show him the chocolate quasit, and his mouth drops, as without hesitation, he takes it from your hands.
Oh, quite rare. These are, and most delectable.
He bites off a large piece and tucks what's left into his robe pocket, where it seems to disappear into nothingness. He then returns to his book.
I did have some questions.
He frowns at you, licking a remnant of the chocolate off his fingers.
Well, who told you to bother me with inane questions?
He stares at you, accusingly.
Come now, tell me what it is that you wish to bother me with, or be gone.
He fishes a malt ball from his sleeve and eats it.
As I said, I had some questions.
Quell rolls his eyes, indicating for you to continue with a wave of his hand.
What do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell?
At the mention of her name, he swallows the candy he's sucking on with a loud gulp, wincing in pain.
What to tell? Or why tell at all? Such things, such tales are best left in dusty books and in the attics of old men's minds. Evil. Such a name, such names, and such dark tales swarm about it like flies on a corpse.
Just the same, I need you to tell me.
He rolls his eyes, plopping another candy into his mouth.
She's a night hag, my boy, who came to Sigil, all evil and cackles she was, alive with her shadow magic, ready to butt heads with the Lady of Pain. Balmy old hag, only succeeding in getting herself mazed. She's likely dead by now.
Shadow magic?
Yes.
His bluster seems to diminish slightly. He is clearly uneasy about speaking of her.
Ravel dabbled. No, not dabbled, but excelled in all schools of magic. She knew shadow magics of illusion and shadow substance. Shadows, residues of dead things.
How might I find her?
Why would you ask such a thing? Are you mad? What could you possibly want with such an evil creature?
She knows something about my past.
Doubtful. She was mazed many centuries ago. Gone, penned in the dead book she is. And even if she were somehow still clutching to life with her blackened, bloody talons, what could she possibly know about you? If she wasn't the spitting image of cackling evil, that is, and was even willing to help you.
Well,
just have to hope she's alive and will help me.
Oh, Biley, she's 6 teats and a swollen tummy. What a flickering candle of hope hurled into the whirling winds of pandemonium that is. Oh, flicker, flicker, whoosh. Don't be any more fool than you need to be.
I must still seek her out, whether she's dead or alive.
So, if she's dead, as she most likely is, then what is your plan, may I ask? You have everything all figured out, do you? Quail is just blowing words out of his pits. Nonsense, nothing. Oh, what do you plan to do if she's in the dead book, eh?
I don't know. I'll figure something out.
My, that's the best plan I've ever heard. Pure, blinding white genius of an idea. No idea how to get into the maze, no idea how to get out, no idea what to do if she's dead, certainly no idea what to do if she's alive. I might as well be talking to a lemure for all the balmy foolishness you're spouting about.
All right. Can you just tell me how to get to her maze?
Lunatic! Madman! Addle Cove! Have you not listened to a word I've said? She's imprisoned in an interdimensional maze for trying to best the Lady of Pain. That means she's at least 10 times as balmy as you, and at least 100 times more powerful. She's also most likely dead. Dead, thrice dead, and if by some happenstance she isn't, then she'll make you dead.
I understand, but I really need your help. Can you tell me how to reach her or not? Quell goes quiet, chewing on his lip. After a moment, he fishes around in his tunic for a mint, then plops it into his mouth.
You're serious? Serious now? Well, why so serious? Why so bear-tor bent, so mule stubborn?
He sighs.
Well, born clueless, die clueless.
Yes?
All mazes have portals. This much we know to be true. A way in, a way out. This is how the ladies fashioned them. I do not know the portal, its location, or even its form. But I am told its key is a piece of ravel.
A piece of Ravel. But if Ravel is mazed, then how am I supposed
Then
to...
you'll have to make do. Find something that has Ravel's taint in it, mayhap. That is all I know. Oh, bother me no more about it. If you want to go pestering someone about something like that, go to the brothel of slating intellectual lusts. One of the ladies there is bound to have met someone or knows something that'll help.
You look to fall from grace, who does not answer, but has a look of concern on her face. All right. Thank you. Farewell.
Balmy. Absolutely balmy. Nothing to do.
Grace remains silent, pensively strolling around the Sensorium. You wonder, perhaps, if the mention of the brothel and its ladies has given pause for thought. But not wanting to pry, you step aside into one of the chambers. A beautiful room, fashioned like a study. Books and minor arcane ornaments sit on polished shelves that line the walls, and a clean, piney smell of resin fills the place, surrounding the plinth in the center. The base of this aquatic blue sensory stone has been sculpted so it appears to have melted into the pedestal it rests upon. A stream of perfect azure tears drip down the sides, framing the inscription beneath, that reads, Longing. As you place your hands upon the stone, its surface ripples beneath your touch. A chill washes over your arms, like plunging your hands into a mountain stream. As you close your eyes, you blink and reopen them. Your eyes are brimming with tears, and you are overcome with a terrible sensation of drowning. As the sensation rolls through you, there is a stirring in your breast. A hunger, poisonous, like a serpent, biting into your heart, until you feel as if your breast will explode. You want desperately to steady yourself, focus. But all that comes to your eyes is tears. You raise your hand to wipe away your tears. Your hands are soft, delicate, feminine. They brush the stray tears from your cheek, and you cup them in your palms, each
like jewels shimmering in the lights. Shimmering candle globes drift through your sanctuary. You have come to this place to gather your thoughts, to reflect on the past with an eye toward the future, to cleanse the mind before the coming journey. Yet, you cannot concentrate. Your thoughts remain in the present, trapped there by the terrible feeling that writhes in your breast.
What did he mean?
You close your eyes, but his words echo in your mind 100, 1,000 times.
Will he ever return?
The sound is a whisper, an echo. Only you.
Only you.
Only you. Yet you hesitated at the brink of time's door, and he must have thought you afraid to go. But you were not. You were afraid to stay. And the fear...
The serpent writhes in your breast again, its fangs biting into your heart, filling it to bursting with its poison.
The tears come again, running down your cheeks in streams, his words echoing.
Only you. Only you.
Your eyes snap open. It is his voice. You whirl and you gasp. He stands, powerful in the shadows, and he strides into the light of the drifting candled globes. And you feel the serpent writhing and dying. He returned. His face, stern, but somewhere in those features, you can almost see his pleasure at seeing you. After all, he returned for you.
Only you can help me, Dianara. But it was wrong for me to ask for your help. You speak.
Dianara, yet you...
It is you. Gray-skinned like a statue, striding from the light. Are you that scarred? Your body looks like it has been bathed in knife blades. The wounds, the tattoos.
Horrible. Yet you see through Dianara's eyes, and she sees...
How can she see you in such a way? She puts a cloak over your features. She sees you in such light.
Such terrible, longing light.
For she, how can she
feel
feel such? You try to refocus. Brace yourself. Hold on to the experience. You feel your vision tearing, doubling until you are that man striding from the light. It is you, but not you. You feel yourself being torn. It is Dianara's experience, but at the same time it is also yours, and you... What? I asked too much of you to accompany me, Dianara. I have no right to place you in such danger for my sake. It is your words, but they are a surgeon's words, chosen with cold skill without a trace of emotion. With every word, you feel yourself sneering inside, knowing what the stricken girl will see next through her longing-stained eyes.
And who are you? That person, that man, twisting her with your words, not knowing how powerful they are to her, like bolts from the ballista, piercing her breast, her...
Yet she sees only relief at your return. How can she feel and not know you mean to? I have come to ask for your forgiveness, Dianara. I shall return to you as soon as I am able. Your vision tears again, doubling and bleeding until you are facing yourself again, trying desperately to speak, to warn
Dianara that this is not a man, but a creature that kills for his own needs.
He doesn't care about you, Dianara. You are a tool to him, a tool he needs to. Dianara speaks, and you can't stop her.
I would place myself in 1,000 dangers, embrace eternity for you, my love. I am not afraid. Listen to me. I will accompany you, though the plains themselves should bar the way.
You feel yourself shattering, relief and satisfaction. His satisfaction at her words, knowing she would say them, always knowing.
And her admission of love is like the slamming of a portcullis across your heart. Trapped. She is yours. But you must be certain, so you drive the nail home.
The way is dangerous. You'll have to be strong. Far stronger than you are now. Swimming through her mind. Relief, the wave of relief, the end of longing. Yet longing for him more at his words.
Noticing his manipulations.
All you need to be is strong, and his path shall be as one with
Your
yours.
thoughts are like fires.
But you can be strong, stronger than he knows. You know no fear. You would die for him.
I can be strong, my love. I will.
Her words slide off of him like water. The serpent in her breast, the one piercing her heart with its poison, has been replaced by this serpent in the flesh.
She sees nothing of this, and his next words are planned carefully, so carefully.
I can't say if we'll succeed, Dianara, but I'll do my best to protect you, and I will expect nothing less of the same from you. You may be required to make some sacrifices. At that final, terrible word, you feel yourself being torn apart.
He means her harm. He means you harm, for you are her, and he means to hurt her, yet you need her to be harmed.
And you want to scream at her that she is in danger. Run, Dianara, for his eyes unmake all things.
Of course, my love. Life is sacrifice. This I have learned.
Her.
You speak the words, and in it, you feel yourself dying inside.
You are a spectator, and you have watched a woman die, for the words are a death sentence.
Yet still she speaks, unheeding, uncaring. I left a legacy in my father's keeping, my love. Ask for the 6th, the 3rd, the K, and the S. In it, I bequeath everything to you. It's not much, but with it, I left him.
A wave of irritation washes over you. You clench your teeth to prevent the irritation from crossing your features.
Must she always continue to prattle, even when you do not prompt her? Must she...
But no. Keep the irritation inside. Only a trace slips out.
Come now. I cannot die, Dianara. There is no need for such foolishness. She is overcome with fear that revolts you, and the fear wells up inside her.
Inside you, as you watch him frown, and you hasten to correct him.
He must know the reasons and know the wisdom behind them, so he is impressed with your planning. Speak before he turns away.
I know I often act foolishly, my love, but you said yourself that you can forget things if you are badly hurt. There are things in the legacy that could help you remember should you forget yourself. You coldly regard her through your eyes, tracing your gaze along her furrowed brow, wrinkled with worry, desperation.
She has acted as you expect, yet there is something in what she says. Perhaps. Yet, I hope nothing in this legacy is of value. I do not want you to leave any things here in some safe that could be of some use on our journey.
Her illusion is shattered, just for a moment.
You watch, silent as the emotion falls to the ground, splintering like silvered glass. Of some use. Such a casual statement. Yet even Dianara sees, and you hope, just for a moment, you hope that she sees him for what he is.
The serpent.
And your hope dies. As in Dianara's eyes, the emotion is rebuilt. The slivers being drawn from the ground, the illusion rebuilt. But the slight sliver of pain remains.
He thinks you have done something foolish. Yet you did it for him. You must make amends, but how?
You must convince him the legacy is unimportant, but it
isn't.
It isn't.
It's everything. The legacy, my love, it just has a few things to help you remember.
A legacy. The things you do, Dianara. The scythe of words falls on Dianara so quick, so sharp, you cannot follow its arcing path. Such romantic gestures.
no matter.
No!
She,
You.
Dianara.
You have driven him away again, like you did the night before.
You feel the serpent stirring again, reborn, curling around your heart.
There is the softest of hisses, yet he does not hear. Would you wish to leave a legacy, my love? For yourself, or for anyone you would want to? It might help you remember if you left something for yourself, or for the ones you loved. The word scythe falls again, terrible and swift.
Yet this time, the illusion holds and the serpent is cloaked.
The serpent is cunning, and it shall not reveal itself until it strikes.
A legacy for myself. Not likely. The things I would leave for myself would not be safe in some advocate's office, Dianara. But enough of this. I must leave. He is leaving.
You must make him remain.
And the experience swirls around you. Terrible. The spiraling toward the final scene.
The question you...
She wants to ask.
Don't
Don't ask it, Dianara. Don't ask it. Be silent. Be silent.
My love, before you go...
His anger, his irritation.
What now, girl? What now, you mewling banshee?
Before I go. It looks like I'm in no danger of that. Come, Dianara, can't these questions wait for the morn? There is much
She is desperate.
Say it. Say it. Say it.
And she... Speak it. Do you want me to come with you, my love?
The rush of emotion dies in your mind. This is the end. The words
you are about to speak are true. But the truth is not the truth she sees. There are no lies, only cold calculations.
Of course, he wants you to come with him, Dianara. You understand it clearly. Too clearly.
He has invested too much in the poor girl to let her go.
Of course, Dianara. I would not have asked you to come with me if I did not want your company. You know how I feel about you.
There is a cold silence in his mind, then a hissing of a thought, a response, sharp and deadly like a dagger blade. The lie comes swiftly, unburdened by emotion.
I love you, Dianara. And you want to scream as you feel the lie wash over her like a radiance.
But the shadow of a truth.
A serpent's kiss.
And he means you harm.
And she can't see. You want to call out, but she is crying with joy.
Even as
you cry,
with joy.
With frustration, with joy, despair.
The emotion washes over you like you are drowning. Drowning. And you need to speak. You long to speak. But you cannot.
And you scream as you tear your hands from the stone, bloody tears rushing from your eyes, running in streams down your arms, your hands to coat the stone, blood, her blood, and you can't warn her, and you can't stop crying. As much as you want to hurl the memory of the experience from you, you hold it fast because you know it's important to remember it. It was you in that experience. It was Dianara's experience, but because it was you, your memories flooded you and you could feel both sides at once. Who were you? Who was that shade of you? I can't. And suddenly, Fall from Grace is there, and her touch is gentle like silk, and she brushes the tears from your eyes, even as you feel the screams welling up within you. She shushes you, cradling your face through your bloody tears.
I can't bear it. I couldn't stop her. I wanted to, but I couldn't do anything.
And that is the nature of longing, the desire for that which you cannot change or possess.
She studies you, withdrawing her hand, now soaked in your blood.
Will you be all right?
Yes. I just need a moment.
Very well. We will continue when you're ready.
Whether overwhelmed by the emotion or left depleted after such a release, you do not know. But after Grace helps you back to the sensate dormitories, you quickly succumb to a deep
and much-needed sleep. Upon awaking, not too many hours have passed, it seems, as little light streams in through the large balcony windows of your suite, but that from a few glowing globes of arcane candles that shimmer and float outside. And it occurs to you, while it's not the exact room, this dormitory is styled much in the same way as Dianara's sanctum from the Sensory Stone, and this likely is where you had both resided. Just through the window on the small patio, looking out over the gardens beneath your dorm, you do see your new companion talking quietly with Dakon and Mort, and that brings you some comfort. Looking around, you notice Anna, not with the others, slumped on one of the couches. She starts a little as she becomes aware that you have awoken, and straightens herself up, rubbing her eyes.
Oh, hi. You're awake? Yeah. So be it. Are you all right?
Anna just glares at you.
I wanted to ask you something. Oh, why don't you just ask that stuck-up your questions then?
Anna.
Why is she even here? You don't need her, you don't?
Anna, please. I don't want to argue about this. You're extremely important to me, and I need your help.
Oh, aye. And why is that then? Oh, this should be rich, it should. You pity me? Is that it? You think I slow you down? Go on, say it.
I don't pity you, and you don't slow me down. You're quick, and you're skilled, and I really need all the help I can get, and that includes Grace, if she'll join us. But that includes you, too. I need you, Anna. You can leave if you want, but know that I need you. I need Mort. I need Dakon. I need people I can trust.
Anna frowns, her tail flicking back and forth.
Well, know that I'll gut her if she starts sizing us up for a feast. I will.
She glares at you.
And don't get any ideas. I'm staying because you want me to. I'm just helping you out, I am.
Fine.
No? You said you wanted to ask me something? Aye.
Yeah. I need to find a piece of Ravel. Do you have any idea what that might mean?
A piece of that hag? Me? I don't know where you'd find such a thing.
Anna thinks for a moment, her tail waving slowly back and forth. Then she smirks.
Of course. She's probably left enough of her seed scattered around the plains that you might be able to ask one of them.
Seed? What do you mean?
Seed? Kin? Wee ones. Old Ravel's said to have a mess of daughters, so the tale-tellers say. Or just one, depending on which tale-teller you ask, and whether they're down in bub when you talk to him. Ravel birthed them from some fiend, the tales say.
Do you think one of these daughters might still be around? They might know something about how to reach her.
Anna shrugs.
I don't even know. As sure as Copper wouldn't want to find one of them if they're half as mean as she is.
All right. Well, let's keep an eye out for one of them, though. Thank you. I'm glad you're still here.
Aye. Well, as you said, you need all the help you can get.
Thank you for listening to Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series, a RevocerGM production. To support the show and those involved, please consider subscribing to our Patreon or donating via our Ko-fi page. Links to both are in the description.